What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Good Faith Show. I'm your host, Andre Morton, and The Good Faith Show is exclusively on the ATP Network. You can catch the ATP Network on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. And also, too, I got some shameless plugs for you guys as well. Tired Peasant's Twitter account, her other one was suspended, so this is her alternate account. Follow her on Twitter. The handle is at Lizzie Cloud Mode. On the bottom of on the ticker, follow the official ATP Network Twitter account. The handle for that is at ATP Network 247. And like the video, like if you're on YouTube and Rumble especially, I'm talking about y'all. Like that video, cause I see y'all liking it. It's helping us push us out. Cause YouTube is kind of shadow banning us for no reason at all. I don't understand. Wait, it's our rhetoric, so it's our propaganda. YouTube don't like our propaganda, so that makes sense. So like the video, y'all, pushes us out. Like liking the video is all we got as a tool to beat the algorithm. So like the video, and also too, 91% of you on YouTube especially watch my shit, but are not subscribed to to our channel, the ATP Network. Subscribe. What are you doing? Like, you keep coming back liking our shit, so watching our shit. So like, I don't know what the deal is, but yeah. So yeah, man, what you just saw right there. And also on the bottom of the ticker is me and Ty Peasant is now on Little Red Book, aka Red Note. Ty Peasant's handle on the bottom there is Tired Peasant 85, and mine is Andre X24. So yeah, follow us on there as well. Like Ty Peasant almost got 300 followers on there, which is crazy. And I got I forgot how much I got. What, 20 or 30? Like, yeah. Ty Peasant is a fucking celebrity, believe it or not. If she don't have to believe it, I believe it. Like, everywhere she go, she blows up. So yeah. So all right, guys, what you got done watching there before I start talking was um, the moment when the Palestinian children found out that Hamas and Israel agreed to a ceasefire. Um, One of those kids was crying, man. Like, you have to really feel for that kid, because you think to yourself, like, yeah, like you have to really feel for those kids. Like, thinking about living in a tent and hearing that siren go off, which means an attack, or airstrike siren. You know, like, that's just like, we got to really consider these Palestinian, the women and children and men, all of them, like the mental health aspect of this. Like, this is gonna be stuck in their minds forever, and we need to be there for them as allies to them. So yeah, yeah, y'all. So yeah, sorry for that noise if y'all hear back there, man. Got people over my house, the per usual. So yeah, man, I'm gonna talk about some news about um Benjamin Netanyahu being a bullshit artist. Like somebody coming on TikTok when I made a video talking about the ceasefire. They're right. They said they don't trust Netanyahu. Hell, I don't either. And Israel still attacking. Like, y'all think, oh, the ceasefire's a done deal? It don't look like it. Oh, jeez. Where do I start? I'm going to share my screen, guys. I'm going to talk about the first topic I want to talk about. Um, it's pulling up now. Let me see. Give it a second, guys. There we go. From Al Jazeera, it's live. It said Israel kills 21 children in Gaza. 21 innocent children. Like, yeah, they let you know he doesn't want a ceasefire. Following ceasefire announcement. I'm gonna make this bigger for y'all. I know y'all watching on your phone and stuff. Uh, 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 there you go. It says among 21 Palestinian children, 25 women are among 87 people killed in Gaza since the announcement of the ceasefire deal, expected to start on Sunday as Israel's relentless airstrikes intensify. But if it's a ceasefire deal, if it went through, then why are there more why airstrikes is intensifying? Like, they don't make any sense. Israel cabinet is set to meet on Friday to vote on the ceasefire deal, according to media reports. So basically, I just now found out that they didn't meet. But watch the next story. Um, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called off a cabinet vote on the deal on Thursday, alleging Hamas reneged on some terms. Oh, really? Like, it sounded like to me, murdering sap. Like, it sounded like to me that you are the one that reneged on, like, you reneged on the ceasefire deal. Like both sides have to agree to it to go through. Like, you don't know how ceasefires work. But let me continue. On an accusation the Palestinian group vehemently denied. Hamas official Lazet al-Rashid said a deal reached in the Qatar capital Doha met all the group's conditions, including the full withdrawal of Israeli forces, the return of displaced people to homes, and a permanent end to the war. So a permanent end to the war, which is good, right? That was the deal. Israel warned Gaza killed at least 46,788 Palestinians and wounded 110,453 since October 7th. At least 1,139 people were killed in Israel during the Hamas-led attacks that day, and more than 200 taken captive. Okay, so yeah, now I'm finna get to the second story. Give me a second, guys. Now I'm finna get to the second story. While I'm at it here, why not just do a 2-for-1? Um, yeah, man, yeah, this shit crazy, man. Um, Here's the next article finna pull up now. I don't know why StreamYard being so fucking slow today. I don't get that, but uh, um, it says Israel's Netanyahu says cabinet will not meet Thursday, which is today, for Gaza truce vote. Far right Israeli Minister Ben Gvir has threatened to quit over the Gaza truce deal. Quit then, motherfucker. Uh, I don't want to listen to what he got to say. It says Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said his cabinet will not meet as scheduled to approve the Gaza ceasefire deal, blaming Hamas for causing a last-minute crisis. Whatever in the fuck that means. Israeli cabinet was set to meet on Thursday morning to ratify the deal, with the ceasefire scheduled to take effect for Sunday. So, um, like this is what he said. He said Hamas reneges on parts of the agreement reached with the mediators in Israel in an effort to extort last-minute concessions. A statement from Netanyahu said the Israeli cabinet will not convene until the mediators notify Israel that Hamas has accepted all elements of the agreement. Yeah, that sounds kind of fishy. Like, but as y'all know, y'all read the Hamas official said that they did not go back on no agreements. Nah, this is cap. It's cap. Like he don't want this. He'll willing, like, this man is so bloodthirsty and blood hungry for power and and occupation that he's willing to say anything. Like anybody that thinks this guy telling the truth, then you need to be mentally tested. I'm just saying. Holy shit. Following the Israeli announcement, senior Hamas official Izzat al-Rashid said in a statement that the Palestinian group was committed to a ceasefire agreement announced by mediators on Wednesday. Right there, he's saying that, hey, we agreed to it. Like, you know, according to Israeli media reports, one of the reasons behind the postponement of the meeting could be that far-right leaders in Israel are against the deal. That's what it is. Israeli hardline National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir said on Thursday he will resign from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government if it ratifies the ceasefire deal in Gaza, which he has strongly opposed. So damn, Ben-Gvir sound like a fucking bloodthirsty cuck too, along with him and Benjamin Netanyahu. That's why Benjamin Netanyahu said, technically Hamas, they reneged on some parts, basically as a cap to say, like, basically the other bloodthirsty cucks don't want this to go through. Oh man, these evil pieces of crap, man. The deal that is taking shape is a reckless deal. Ben Gvir said in a televised statement, saying it would erase the achievements of the war by releasing hundreds of Palestinian militants and withdrawing from strategic areas in Gaza, leaving Hamas undefeated. Wow. So all of those Palestinians that you got held in captive, really in concentration camps, are militants. You are so fucking good. He's so full of shit, man. Like, you can tell this statement right here is full of shit. Oh God, it continues. If this irresponsible deal is approved and implemented, we, the members of the Jewish power, will submit letters of resignation to the Prime Minister, he added. Ben Gvir also called for a complete stop to all humanitarian aid in Gaza. Hell, yeah, I remember that story. if y'all watch this, I did a couple of days ago saying that the Israeli officials wanted the military to destroy all their energy sources in Gaza. Yeah, I think this is what he's talking about here. Uh, Including fuel, electricity, and water to all captives are released. What? The minister whose departure will not bring down Netanyahu's government has also urged far-right minister Brazil Smotrich to join him in resigning if the deal is approved by the cabinet. Smotrich was described the deal as catastrophic for Israel's national security and his religious Zionism. Religious Zionism? Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy. Has threatened to quit if the government, if it does not go back to war with Hamas after the 6-week phase of the ceasefire is completed. Earlier, several Israeli families, together with supporters, staged a sit-in of Netanyahu's office, calling for the cabinet to not sign the prisoner exchange deal with Hamas. Oh, I guess these families are the hostages, right? Okay. Do not sign the deal. That means surrender, sacrificing the remaining kidnapped and giving up Israeli security. What? Says Yeshua Shani, the father of Israeli Army Captain Yuri Shani, who was killed during the fighting. Yeah. Come here before the cabinet meeting and join us to ask the prime minister to stop and not sign a surrender deal with Hamas. Yeah, these bloodthirsty cucks too. These Israeli families. Yeah. Al Jazeera's Hamda Sahut reporting from Amman said there weren't any sorts of leaks about Hamas going back on what they agreed upon in the ceasefire. It says, what we are seeing rather is the international conflict within Netanyahu's government, especially among the religious Zionist party, she said. This is Smotrich's party. He has been threatened to vote the coalition of this deal came to a vote saying this was a bad deal for Israel and that his party would need guarantees that Israel will go back to all-out fighting after the initial phase of the agreement. Netanyahu has faced great domestic pressure to bring home the scores of captives in Gaza. But his far-right coalition partners have threatened to bring down his government if he makes too many concessions. Well, it looks like he ain't making no concessions like that. If he's really trying to, I keep forgetting to change my screens. Sorry about that, guys. But I'm reading it, so hope y'all can understand what I'm saying. I know I talk weird, but yeah, to me it seems like that, like he wanted to go back, like he don't want to get it done because I guess, number one, he's a bloodthirsty cuck, and number two, Ben Gvir and the other guy, don't want it either. So yeah. But on Thursday, Israeli centrist opposition leader Yair Lapid called on Netanyahu to not back out of the ceasefire deal, reiterating his commitment to supporting the decision while the prime minister faces opposition from far-right allies that risk collapsing his government. So this guy right here, Yair Lapid, got more common sense than the fucking other two cucks. Moreover, Haaretz has reported that the Israeli military cabinet will not convene to approve the Gaza ceasefire deal on Friday morning, citing a senior Israeli source. So hopefully they'll go along with it. Like, this shit far from over, even though, they don't want to do it. But, like 15 months, bro. Come on. 15 months. Like, after this, man, like, need to fight for a weapons embargo, one state solution, man. Like this is Palestinian land. This is not Israel. Israel's an imaginary state. Like these motherfuckers, like they own this shit. They're crazy. That's crazy, man. That's like somebody coming to your house, just take the motherfucker over. They have you captive, and then you get free. Then you plan an attack on them, and then all of a sudden you're the enemy because they stole your shit. This is the same shit, same scenario, man. This is crazy. This is wild. It says after the security cabinet meeting, the cabinet expected to vote on the deal. Israeli ministers have not yet been summoned to discuss the deal. Haaretz reported. U.S. Secretary of State Oh God, this blood with war criminal Anthony Blinken on Thursday also expressed confidence the agreement will go into effect on Sunday. Oh God, I am confident and I fully expect the implementation will begin as we said on Sunday. Blinken told a news conference in Washington D.C. Yeah, I don't believe anything Anthony Blinken says, like especially after he knew that Israel was blocking food into Gaza. Like I don't believe anything he says. Um, I think I read this. Um, yeah, I think I read all this. I'll go and read it though. Might as well. Meanwhile, Israeli forces intensify their bombardment across the Gaza Strip, with at least 81 people killed in the past 24 hours. The Gaza Health Ministry said on Thursday. So they still fucking killing people, killing Palestinians, women and children, and and usually if the ceasefire deal went through, that ceasefire means stop. Like I guess it's not officially enacted because the blood sucking, the bloodthirsty Israeli cabinet got a vote on it, I guess. But at least at least common sense will say like stop. But no, they don't want to stop. Another 200 were wounded, the ministry added. In one attack, 2 people were killed and 6 injured after the Israeli forces targeted a school sheltering displaced people in the Zaytoun neighborhood of south of Gaza City, the Palestinian civil defense said. One deadly Israeli attack following an announcement of a ceasefire deal killed 20 Palestinians in Jabal, northern Gaza. Gaza civil defense said that the and Naza area of Jabala, the victims included two children and 2 women. As we were celebrating the ceasefire announcement, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. These people were celebrating that Hamas agreed to the ceasefire deal, but some of them probably didn't even make it to see it go through. And people ask me why I talk about this all the time. Like, this, why Israel needs to be taken down. Like, this is why, bro. Um, the Israeli warplanes took us by surprise. I woke up to find myself lying in a hospital with head injuries. A boy with a bandaged head told Al Jazeera's Ibrahim Al-Kahili at the site of the attack. All of my brothers and my aunts were killed. Lord have mercy. I miraculously survived as a civil defense member pulled me up from under the rubble. Abdullah Qadar told Al Jazeera that his family had gathered to hear the ceasefire announcement. Wow. Wow, man. I was about to sleep. I heard a loud explosion. I ran out to find the whole building next to me leveled to the ground. Nothing but rubble, dust, and smoke rising in dark skies, he said. He said, I heard screams from under the concrete ruins. Some civil defense members rushed to our help, and with our bare hands managed to pull out the dead and a few survivors. Israel's war on Gaza killed, yeah, I read this, 46,000 people and wounded 110,000 since October 7th. Wow. According to Palestinian Health Authority. And this also too, guys, it's an undercount. Like, it's still people trapped under the rubble. So it probably tripled the number. So yeah, man, that's it of that. So yeah, Netanyahu, as I predicted, that's why I really wasn't excited. But you see videos of the people in Gaza celebrating, which is a good thing to celebrate. I mean, they went through they 15 months of pure hell, man. Like hell, I celebrate too. But it hopefully the way they thing going, they said a ceasefire deal will most likely get done. So, but Netanyahu basically capping saying that Hamas reneged on some things. Like, look at the ceasefire deal, man. Like, it's it sounds like a temporary to a permanent ceasefire. Like 6 weeks, all the hostages, everybody return back to where they come from. Then they move on from there. But yeah, man, that person in the comment section on TikTok was right. I never trusted Netanyahu to begin with anyway. So yeah, on to the next story. All right, guys. Before I get to the next story, be sure to hit the video, hit the like button. If you're on YouTube and Rumble, hit the like button, and also follow Ty Peasant on Twitter. This is her alternate account, Lizzie Cosmos. Hopefully, she'll get her other account back, but Twitter been as my coworker said, be on that bullshit. Um, so yeah, man, I feel to share my screen. While I'm talking about the ceasefire deal and Benjamin Netanyahu still killing Palestinians and trying to renege on it. This is what the ceasefire deal entails. And now I'm finna share my screen right here. Um, it says, hold on, there we go. It says, this is from Mondale. It says the ceasefire agreement explained. It says the ceasefire deal between was announced on Wednesday, promising to end more than a year of Israel's genocidal war on the Gaza Strip. Ceasefire is planned to take effect on January 19th, pending a vote from the Israeli Security Cabinet, which they don't want to do, especially those other two, Ben Gvir and that other fucker. Like they don't want to do this. Of course, Ben Netanyahu don't want to do this. It says after 476 days, wow, the Israeli war on Gaza is closer than ever to ending. After a ceasefire and prisoner exchange deal was announced in Doha, Qatar between Israel and Hamas, the deal will enter into effect next Sunday, January 19th. The Qatari Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abu Rahman Al Thani announced the deal in Doha late on Wednesday, January 15th, following the days of anticipation. Intensified talks in Doha, which saw important breakthroughs on key issues that have been deemed unsolvable in previous rounds of talks. Among such issues, there are Israel's acceptance of withdrawing its forces from the Netzarim and Philadelphia corridors and the return of displaced Palestinians to their destroyed homes in the north of the Strip. Israel had insisted on refusing both conditions in past negotiations, which prolonged the war for months. My thing is this. My thing is, so basically they have a right to return to Gaza, but like what they have the right to, what they returning to? Like, I really hope in the ceasefire deal, I hope it's something about bringing in lots of humanitarian aid. Like they need a whole lot of it right now, man. If this is gonna go through. Shortly before the announcement of the deal, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump said in a post on Truth Social that we have reached a deal for the hostages in the Middle East. They will be released shortly. Well, they ain't being released shortly. Turncoat done. According to leaks, Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff directly pressured Netanyahu to move his position and accept the deal. According to reports, the ceasefire deal includes two phases. The first phase, lasting 42 days, will include a complete halt of hostilities and a gradual release of Israeli captives in Gaza in exchange for Palestinian captives in Israeli jails. Now, this is kind of, I don't know about this. Like, I could see Hamas releasing their hostages. I think it was 33. Yeah, 33. And I can see like Israel pulling a double cross move and still like say, we got your ass. Like, I feel like that's kind of like a trap, because like it's Israel, for God's sake. It's Benjamin Netanyahu. Like anything can happen. In this phase, Hamas and other Palestinian factions will release 33 Israelis who were captured on October 7, 2023, including all remaining 5 women, those aged above 50, and those with illnesses. It is not known yet who of them is still alive. Israel will simultaneously release hundreds of Palestinians from the same category, reaching up to 1,000 prisoners and detainees. Wow, 33 to 1,000. That's a big-ass number. But the Israeli army will begin to withdraw its forces from the populated areas of the Gaza Strip on the first day of the ceasefire. So that's Sunday if the Security Cabinet votes on it. The return of displaced Palestinians to the north will begin on the 7th day of the ceasefire. Israel backed down on its previous refusal to allow the return of Palestinians to the north, as well as previous stipulations around age restrictions. The displaced who return on foot will be searched, but not those who return in vehicles. The deal also stipulates the entry of humanitarian aid in the first days of the ceasefire at a rate of 600. Okay, good. This is good. This is good though. Hey. Give the devil his due. Like, Israel to allow humanitarian aid to come in, and hopefully they won't shoot it down like they did the World Central Kitchen vehicles. Like, Let's hope that don't happen. Um, the aid that will enter in the first phase will include medical supplies and necessary material to rehabilitate destroyed hospitals and bakeries. Negotiations over the details of the second phase will begin on the 16th day of the ceasefire. The second phase will see the release of the remaining captives being held in Gaza, especially Israeli army soldiers and officers, as well as the remaining bodies of killed captives. The names and numbers of Palestinian detainees will be released in this phase is yet to be negotiated. This phase will also include the beginning of the reconstruction of Gaza. Okay? Israel will complete its withdrawal from the Gaza Strip in the second phase, maintaining only a military presence in a 700-meter strip along the fence line of the strip in some parts of the Philadelphia corridor, which runs along the border with Egypt. My thing is, why the fuck you still need Israeli forces around? If it's a ceasefire deal, why? Because that just gonna cause trouble. Like, y'all see what I'm saying? Like, you know, like the IDF is they are fucking, like, you know, I gotta watch what I say. I think I've been saying a lot of stuff on here. I hope you two do make this video down. If they do, I don't really give a fuck at this point. Like, shit could pop off again. Like, why you? Okay, the second phase really should be no fucking IDF forces around the Gaza Strip at all. Like, to me, that just sounds kind of sus. But maybe I'm overreaching here. If I am, let me know in the comment section, guys. Let me see. Israel will completely withdraw from the Rafah crossing point. U.S., Qatar, and Egyptian mediators have guarantees to secure the completion of the Israeli withdrawal. The third phase will see negotiations for a permanent end of the war. During the announcement of the ceasefire deal on Wednesday, Qatar's president, minister, thanked the U.S., especially Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff, as well as Egyptian mediators for helping secure the deal. That's why we say Trump. This is Trump's ceasefire deal. It is. He also affirmed that Qatar, Egypt, and the U.S. will continue to mediate talks over the second and third phase and oversee the implementation. Shortly after the announcement of Doha, the U.S. President Joe Biden also released a statement emphasizing the deal would include the release of captives with U.S. nationalities and ill and elderly female captives. He also said that his team and the efforts of his administration in providing military assistance to Israel and weakening Hezbollah and Iran led to the deal. So yeah, like, Joe Biden should really try to give credit for this too. But again, like, the problem I have with Joe Biden is this. Like, motherfucker, you had plenty of time to get this done. Like, you let 15 months roll by, 46,000 Palestinians dead, 110 are injured, more under rocks of rubble and shit. You turn Gaza to a fucking parking lot, and you now acting like, in a way, like, oh, I did that. You know, Joe Biden used to say, I did that, I got it done. Like, you ain't get shit done, man. You let the big old glass of Tang get it done, dude. Ugh, God. For its part, Hamas said in a short statement that the deal is the fruit of the legendary steadfastness of our people in this resistance. Consider it a step towards our Palestinian people's aim of liberation and return of refugees. In a televised speech, Hamas Politburo Chief Kahil Ahid said that the ceasefire deal came after the most horrible genocide in modern history, which will remain a stain of shame in front of all humanity, especially those who supported it with tons of bombs and weapons. Yep, United States, man. Israeli President Yitzhak Herzog expressed in a televised speech his support to Prime Minister Netanyahu and the negotiation team, calling upon cabinet members to vote for the deal, which he considered the right choice. Netanyahu's cabinet will meet on Thursday to vote on the ceasefire deal, which they didn't. So they said Friday morning they will vote on the ceasefire deal. In his address, Herzog said that there is no bigger moral or human or Jewish obligation than returning our sons and daughters home. In reference to the Israeli captives in Gaza, on the ground in Israel, the deal stirred controversy before its announcement. Oh, God. Families of the Israeli captives have been protesting in Tel Aviv, demanding the release of all captives at once. A number of captives' family members also protested during a meeting of Israel's war minister Yaziel Katz accusing the Israeli government of cherry picking the captives that will be released in the first phase. Well, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been holding a string of meetings with his political allies since Monday, especially his fiance minister Bezalel Smotrich. Sorry guys, if I'm getting these names wrong, I apologize, man. It's just, hey, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, who have vocally opposed any ceasefire in Gaza, threatening on multiple occasions to resign from cabinet if deal is released. Well, the way things looking like they will vote for it to go through. So, bye-bye Ben-Gvir and Smotrich. On Tuesday, Smotrich called the deal catastrophic. Wow, because Smotrich wants to kill more innocent women and children. Like this is a psychopath, man. Like, he gotta be psycho. All of them psychopaths, but golly. While Ben-Gvir called it a capitation to Hamas. Ben-Gvir called upon Smotrich to resign from the government in protest against the deal. Ben-Gvir also said that thanks to his pressure, Netanyahu sabotaged the ceasefire talks last July. Ben-Gvir's statement contradicted Netanyahu's and the U.S. position that it was Hamas, not Israel, who caused the failure of the ceasefire talks. Of course, we knew Israel didn't want it to go through, even back in July. Like, come on, man. Meanwhile, as Palestinians in Gaza celebrated the news of the ceasefire, Israeli warplanes intensified their strikes on the Gaza Strip, especially on Gaza City shortly after the ceasefire announcement, killing dozens in a matter of hours. As of Wednesday, the number of Palestinians killed since October 23 rose to 46,707 and 110,000 wounded, while 10,000 remain missing under the rubble, and that 10,000 could be like triple that amount. According to Palestinian health authorities, 70% of the killed are women, children, and elderly. So, yeah, I mean, what can I say? I mean, Smotrich and Ben-Gvir, they just want more killing. They want more of that. The last part I read, they want more of that to happen. They don't want, they don't want peace. Like they said, peace in the Middle East. Hell, they don't want a ceasefire deal that is very it should be like immediate ceasefire, like these phases. Like, it should be a permanent ceasefire, and also it should be no weapons embargo and one state fucking solution. Cause I'm pretty sure that Palestinians don't mind the Jews staying in Palestine. The problem is you just took a shit and claim it as yours. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's some fucked up shit. So yeah, man. I had to read y'all that, just to be fair. Yeah, man, it's a lot. I really hope. Like, I don't have no faith in Benjamin Netanyahu at all. Like, obviously, right? Like, Hamas agreed to multiple ceasefire proposals, and what Israel did constantly bumblefucked them all. So, except for this one, well, this one, like, it's close to getting done. So, let's hope for tomorrow, guys, that we wake up and we see that the ceasefire deal is done. All right, guys, on to the next story. All right, guys, before I get to this video, hit the like button. Hit the like button. It's free. It's free to hit the like button if you're on YouTube and Rumble. Like the fucking video, please. Thank you. All right, guys. Since the first half of this live stream was pretty, I wouldn't say depressing, because at least something is getting done. We just need the bloodthirsty cucks to go along with it, But anyway, Benjamin Dixon did this video talking about Hasan Piker. Says he reveals how Cenk Uygur stole his intellectual property while on TYT. Ooh, man. This shit crazy, man. I'm talking about Cenk Uygur a little bit, See, shit like that on YouTube, unfortunately, gets the views. Like, when I talk about a labor strike or I talk about anything that happened in Gaza, like YouTube doesn't like that. Like they don't want you to talk about that. But I talk about this, yeah, I get the views and people agree with me on it, which is weird because I'm so used to getting negative feedback. I gotta learn to like take the positive shit. Like I'm doing better at it, but wow, I showed you right here this video about the playoff. Family is not shit, my guy. All right, here we go.
I want you to watch this clip of Hasan Piker as he interviews with Sean O'Brien. And in this video, you will hear, and really honestly, you're going to see the hurt that Hasan experienced by virtue of his uncle, Cenk Uygur, at TYT. And in this video, you're going to hear how the business practices at TYT fell extremely, woefully short of being truly progressive. And I think that in this...
And I'm going to say about TYT, though. TYT, to me, like, people still acknowledge them like, hey, they the first real leftist progressive YouTube show, but based on the shit I looked at, like, even dating back to, like, what, 2008, 7, like, they were talking about women camel toes. So it's like, to me, they sound no more better than like a fucking Entertainment Tonight fucking clip or something. Like, but that's just me. Like I watched TYT in 2016. Like that's when I started watching them during the Bernie Sanders era. Like, of course they gonna hop on that era, right? Bernie Sanders, you know, this progressive Democrat, you know, coming in there. You know, you want to, you know, grift off them, and I think TYT is grifters. Like, yeah, so.
This video, you will recognize that there has been a problem brewing over at TYT for some time. I watched this video and I'm going to play it for you. But more than anything else, I could see and I could feel the hurt that Hasan was experiencing even right then, having to discuss it. And I wonder why. You know, I wonder what the driving force is behind Hasan really putting all the information out that he's been putting out, saying all that he is saying, and how difficult it must be for him to have to say these uncomfortable and inconvenient truths about his own uncle, Cenk Uygur, over at the Young Turks. Take a listen in.
But I started working with my uncle, and look, I think it might be a little Turkish of him to do this, but he definitely let's just say he definitely took advantage of the fact that I was his nephew in terms of, you know, the patient.
But, yeah, you his nephew, man, but family ain't shit, bro. Take it from me, man. Like, you think family is the people that supposed to just have your back, not hurt your feelings, not double cross you, but them the ones that usually do that. So, yeah, like, family don't mean shit. I'm just hate to say that, you know. My family, for example, like, we're not close at all. You know, we really I go when I go back to Mississippi, I speak to my aunts and my uncles. They live there and stuff like that. But beside that, like, we really don't talk to each other. Like, yeah, family ain't shit.
Structure that I worked
So you
under.
definitely needed a union with a relative.
Oh, 100%.
No doubt.
Exactly. They actually did unionize the producers, but that was after I had left. But there was definitely a little bit of issues there as well, and I think that was my third, like, final radicalizing moment, I guess, was I had this IP, this intellectual property of the show that I, like, built out of the for free, that I did because I wanted to do it on the side. It's something I wanted, and I knew they were not gonna, like, originally they were not gonna let me do it unless I do it for free, which is, you know, kind of lame.
And this is your uncle's company.
Yeah, it's my uncle's company. You know, so I'm just like, I want to help. I want to be beneficial, and I also want to do this thing. I'll just do it. I'll just do the extra work for free on the side and, like, maintain this thing so that, like, you know, I can prove that it's good. And so I did that. But it blew up. It got very popular. And instead of giving me additional funds to be like, here, let's build out the show more, let's give you a writer, because I did this in the supply closet, basically. I put a green screen up there and I started filming myself. They were like, oh, yeah, we're going to take this IP and we're going to give it to all the other hosts so we can like make more of the same type of videos without spending any extra money. And that's when I was like, damn, I have no ownership over this. Like, I just don't have.
Damn, that's cold, bro. That is cold. So he had an idea for the show, and Cenk, I guess, and Anna. Well, I guess Cenk at the time before he gave control to Anna, took it as their own. Wow. We're gonna take your idea and use it for everybody else. You don't do that, bro. Unless he say do that. Unless Hasan Piker say, hey, y'all can take this idea and use it across your network. That, like, for example, Provolone got an idea for a show, which is her own idea, and I take her idea and I apply it to this show. Or, somebody like that. Like, I don't understand them to leave and probably call me out on Twitter. Like, that's just a low down dirty cuck, man. Wow.
I have no control over my hours. I have no control over this IP, this thing that I created, right? Like this thing that I put a lot of thought and effort into, and I did for basically free. I don't control it.
You can really see the pain, or you could hear the pain in Hasan's voice. He's not comfortable talking about his family like this. It's not easy for him to do.
Hell no, it's never easy. It's never easy to call our family. But the problem is that, like, people will look at you in a different light until, like, shit comes out later that people show you who they are until they get exposed. Then once they get exposed, then you're like, damn, this person was a piece of crap. Yeah, like, yeah, Cenk seemed like he's intellectual and, he could hardly talk good, but at the end of the day, he's stealing your nephew's ideas, making it as your own. Like, yeah, that's ultimately fucked up, bro.
Do this. In fact, I can tell that it is taking a lot for him to come out and say these things. You got to keep in mind, these things happened many, many years ago. And in fact, I remember the IP, the intellectual property that he's talking about. I remember when all of a sudden there was a new format that was being presented and it featured Hasan. And then that format was featured by another person from TYT. And then another person. That was many years ago. And like so many of us heard that story until now. Doing that, he did not share these stories until now out of respect for TYT as an institution, what it represented in progressive spaces. I can tell you one thing.
So you can say that he came out now because of what's going on with TYT's pivot to the right and everybody exposing them. Like everybody. Really, TYT really started going downhill since the Anna tweet on the birthing person thing, which I still don't understand why would you say that. Like, now she can say what the fuck she want. It's just the problem is that, like, you can still critique of what she said. Like, really? Who calling women birthing persons? Like, I don't get that. And then obviously, like, let's keep it 100. If Kamala Harris won this election, do y'all think Cenk will be pivoting to the right? You think he be going on that white supremacist Charlie Kirk's event, or what they call it, Amfest or whatever? Like, no, he still be calling Trump a fucking Nazi, and he told people originally we don't need to talk to the right because the right is lost. But now he's doing everything that he said we should not do. Like, people forgot what he said, but I didn't forget because I watched TYT for like 3 or 4 years. Ugh, jeez.
Know about Hasan just by listening to that brother on the occasion that I had a chance to listen to his stream is that he is genuinely aggressive. He's a leftist. And I know.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Ben. I don't want to be a purity tester, but like, everybody can call themselves a leftist. This is why I don't use labels anymore. Like, anybody can call themselves a leftist. I'm pretty sure Kamala Harris said, I'm on the left. I'm on the left. No, your left is different from my left, sweetheart. Like, my left is like like building up a new system, like But okay,
Sometimes the left, the right dichotomy, that it can become almost meaningless, and it becomes
it is meaningless. Like saying I'm a leftist is meaningless. Like saying I'm a communist is meaningless unless I actually apply those principles to real life. Like this is why I took fucking symbols off my fucking profile on Twitter, because a lot of people ain't real to begin with. Like you realize that. And second of all, really, like you could go through my tweets and see how the fuck I feel about the system. Like I don't need to put a hammer and a sickle in my bio, which doesn't mean shit. Like you know, um, like anybody can say they left. Like, but okay.
you know, sometimes a badge, but he really stands on the values that he believes in. He really represents that. He says that he's got things wrong, but who haven't? Who hasn't? Who amongst us has not made a mistake in our reporting, in our coverage, and what we say and do? But at the core of what Hasan does, I truly see a person who truly believes in what he says and stands up for it. And so you can see and hear the pain in his voice in this video. He doesn't want to do this. And it makes me ask the question, why is he doing it? Why is he being so honest here?
I think because TYT is declining.
And why is he being so honest now? He's not doing it with any level of malevolence. He's not doing it with any level of attack. He's not going after TYT. He's not going after Cenk Uygur. He's not going after Anna Kasparian. He's reluctantly sharing stories that reveal just how he's sharing stories that reveal just how bad the business practices and how unprogressive the business practices of TYT truly were underneath the leadership of Cenk Uygur.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's the moment when people find out that TYT is grifters. Like, they've been grifters for a long time. It took me a long time to see it until 2020 when they said vote for Biden and push him left. Like how you the fuck you go from voting for Bernie Sanders, well, supporting Bernie Sanders twice, to saying that Biden, even though they did call him out rightfully so during the primaries, like calling out his record and all that shit, then going to say you're going to push the same guy that still believes in that shit, go push that guy left. Like, a grift, man. The grift keeps on grifting.
It really underscores what so many other people have been saying, including myself. A lot of us who left TYT, we left quietly. We may have had our issues in the background, but we left and said nothing about those issues because we wanted to protect TYT. We didn't.
Like, me too, man. I think about the ATP network. Like, we had people to leave. One person, we call that person the disgruntled fan. They didn't leave quietly. They got angry at us. But, back in August when they left initially, like, I didn't bring it up on Twitter. Like, I'm not a drama person. Like I respect people that doesn't spread drama. Like, shit happens. You know about it. You just keep it to yourself because it just adds fuel to the fire. Like we just fuck. That's crazy, man. It's like you work in an organization. You know that's gonna be. It's always trouble with organizations. Different personalities, different opinions. People want to go this way and that way, and right now we good. Now the ATP network, we good. We talked out our, little issues. I wouldn't say issues, but we talked things out, and we good. We're gonna move on. More shows coming up. Good things are happening, but it's like him holding that in about the intellectual property, like, shows you that he actually isn't a controversial person to begin with. Like, people are quick to spread out stuff like that, man. Like, the people don't give a fuck. Like, Like any negativity, like people love negative. Some people love negativity. I just don't understand. Like I love positivity. That's why I stopped looking at my comment section on Twitter, because not comments, notifications on Twitter, because Twitter, like, for some reason, love to show the negative stuff over the positive stuff. And I'm just like, fuck it, man. Like I have to tell people, like, you got to DM me if you want to respond to my tweet or whatever. DM me. Like that's the only way I read it, because I'm not looking at no notifications. So, all right.
Didn't want to attack the big, not out of fear, but out of the need for that institution to be here and to do something on behalf of progressive voices who were trusting in them. But 2 out of 2 cases, what Hasan is talking about, and what several of others, including myself, what we've talked about, really demonstrates a pattern that's been long-standing. And I don't really even want to talk about TYT so much in this clip as look at what it does. Look at, and I know maybe we shouldn't, there's no need for us to feel sorry for Hasan. He's doing quite well. He's doing tremendously well. What he's doing on his own rivals what TYT does as a collective company. His reach goes so much further than TYT. So I don't say this in order for anyone to feel sorry for Hasan Piker, but you can see, you can hear in his voice that this bothers him. I can't imagine having to get on the internet and share these things about a family member of mine. But something is happening at TYT that is requiring Hasan Piker to speak out. And while he's not speaking out as a means of attacking them, he's sharing his truthful experience. And so what does that matter?
Okay, guys, I'm in it there, man. Like, yeah, like sometimes, man, like y'all think I wanted to call out that disgruntled fan that way. No. Things was good until, on Christmas Day of all days, she decided to call us out, try to demean our network. Like, she literally tried to destroy our network. That disgruntled fan. I'm going to leave her name nameless, because it's not, I don't want to bring her any more attention than I already did. But sometimes, man, like, you got to, like, call the shit out after a while. Like, if it's something minor, while people leave an organization or something, that's one thing. Like, yeah, that can be silent, but like, it's good to hear both sides. People heard her side, people heard our side. Some people are friends with her. Some of those people will follow me on Twitter, which is fine. Some unblock me, which is fine. Like, hey, you believe whatever, you believe in what she said, that's fine with me. But yeah, man, like, working in organizations is not easy, man. It's not easy. Take it from experience, man. It's not easy. Like actually, coming together on stuff, and having to agree on stuff, and who's willing to do more and who's willing to do less. Like, you got to put all that shit together, and then people got lives outside of an organization. Like, they got a real life shit going on. So it's not easy. And as for Hasan Piker's case, like, Cenk is a piece of shit for stealing that man's intellectual property and claiming it as his own. Like, that man, that right there. Like, if you still support TYT at that point, man, I definitely stop supporting them. Like, I don't give a fuck if that's his uncle. I don't give a fuck. Like, you gonna steal that dude's hard work? Like, coming up with stuff is hard as fuck, and you gonna steal it? So yeah, man. That's so unfortunate for Hasan Piker. And again, I don't feel sorry for Hasan Piker. He fine. He on Twitch, ain't he? Like, he doing great on Twitch. Like, yeah, like, it hurts, but you'll get over it. Like, a lot of people hurt me, and I got over it. I'm fine. So, all right, guys. One last story. All right, guys. Before I get to the last part of the live stream, be sure to hit the like button. It helps us out in the algorithm, and also to follow Ty Peasant. That's her tag right there, Lizzie Cosmos. If you're watching this on Twitter, get off our stream, and go to type in Lizzie Cosmos, and she'll pop up. Or you can type in Ty Peasant and pop up, and come back, because I really want to support her. Like, her count got, to be honest with you, man, like, it got unfairly take it down. Like she said herself in the past, she was on her best behavior. And it goes to show you, man, like this is why sometimes I'm all on cutting Twitter, because eventually, like I hate to say this, like all of us is gonna get taken off of this network, man. I mean off of Twitter, man. Like it's getting to that point. Like they suppressing me now, but I'm pretty sure they want me to say something that could trigger the algorithm or whatever, and nuke me. So yeah, man. Um, last part. Shout out to Franny, Francesca. I like her a lot. We don't agree on a lot of stuff. Like her, the way she think about how things should move is way different from what I think. But again, it's like she did something that really shows me she's in good faith. Like she had Cenk on her show to call Cenk out, which you should do. I think that some of us like that do this space, we tend to just like to smear each other, and not hear each other out. Like Cenk, she heard Cenk out, Cenk heard her out, even though Cenk sound crazy. Um, bringing about ethnicity, like she's Asian, I get she Asian, and he bringing up that like race baiting or some shit. Like, but again, it's like you do things in good faith, man. People like that, and she's constantly growing on YouTube as well. Um, you know, see, it shows you. I might not agree with everything people say, but if they show me that they're in good faith, and I show them that I am, hey, I fuck with you. Hey, the same with Republicans. Like, or conservative, like as long as they ain't racist and bigoted, like yeah, I'll talk to them like they people. Like at the end of the day, man, with all this politics and who's this, who's that, we all people, bro. Like I get what Smurf was saying when I had him on the ATP network for a spell, like saying that race shouldn't even be a thing. It shouldn't. Like we shouldn't talk about black issues, white issues, Asian issues, Hispanic issues, but like race and class, they interswect. So all right, she got Mondale Robinson on talking about the TYT situation. I had to find the part when they start talking about it because this was a long live stream. Mondale had a good, like I guess it's a kind of a good idea strategy if you want to say TYT. So I'm finna play it. Here we go. Hold on.
But I mean, first you need the funds, then first you need to build it up. And I love the idea of doing those kinds of trainings. I think campaigns need it. I also been thinking about media, right? And I think we've both been a little unsettled by some of the capitulative nature of specifically TYT when it comes to certain issues, whether it's trans rights or some stuff on immigration or some stuff on, BLM. I think that obviously I had Cenk on the show and we got into it a little back and forth, but the idea of trying to break bread with the right in order to come to agreement on certain issues is a losing strategy and absolutely sacrifices communities that are in the crosshairs, quite literally, of the white nationalists on the other side. But you recently said that you were going to stop. You were a contributor to TYT for a couple of years there. Can you just tell me about your work with them and what?
Nah, I don't mind talking to anybody on the right. It's just the problem is that if they are a white nationalist, like yeah, that's a red line for me, man. Like no bigots, no Zionists. I'm not talking to no Zionists. I'm not talking to no white nationalists. Like what I got to say? Like they don't like me anyway, so why they would talk to me? So, but Cenk, he's making it sound sexy, like you fight, let's have a beer. Like, yeah, a Zionist do not want to have a beer with a pro-Palestine activist like me, and a white nationalist do not want to have a beer with a black guy like me. Like they're white nationalists for a reason. But let me continue. Let me see. For some reason it's all right.
caused you recently to say that you were going to stop?
Yeah, I think, the normalizing of everything that this conversation has been complaining about, you and I complaining about, the normalizing of that at the expense. You and I just sat down and had a wonderful, critical conversation of the party that we associate with, the Democratic Party. And it was not in trying to normalize MAGA and pretend that MAGA is not a danger to people's lives or lived experience. And I think when I see Cenk and I see Anna on interacting in that way, where they're pretending that things aren't as they are, and they're doing this both sides, I'm frustrated beyond belief, because less with Anna, because I have very limited interactions with her, but more with Cenk, a person who sat beside me and called me brother and said that, oh, I believe that you should run for president, right? And for me to hear that from you, and then you normalize the people who are threatening my life, it's more than unsettling. It's off-putting, and it's also the danger that you were.
I can kind of see what Mondale was saying in this instance. He's saying that, hey, I thought Cenk was real. Like, he wanted me to run for president, on the Democratic Party, which the Zoink kind of zoinked that. But hey, that's how I am. I'm like that too. It's like you think people are cool with you. You think they like you. They compliment on your work. Even sometimes I think it's fake. But hey, I can't judge a person's heart. But then, like, over time, they just change, and you're like, why? And I think Mondale and Cenk, I think Mondale really like Cenk. Like, he said himself, I think I didn't play it yet. He said that he still supported TYT, I guess through TYT memberships or whatnot, until like now. So, yeah, man, I could tell, like, it really bothered him, rightfully so, man. Like, talking to white nationalists, yeah, that's a bridge too far, man.
Risk the other 75 or 76 people that work at TYT's lived experience or life, work. People like JR have been at TIT since the beginning, so it belongs to him as well. Cenk has in the lower third of the screen all the time. It says, "You're my boss," talking about the people who subscribe, the listeners. If he believed that, he would walk away right now, because he is not the TYT that we subscribe to.
Cenk full of cap on that now. Yeah, really, actually, the subscribers that support you, they give you money, they pay money towards your program, your organization, because they like what you got to say, and then you double cross them by saying that you should hang around with white nationalists, like talk to them, like, even though you did say, I'm not mad about him talking to the right. It's just the type of right you talk to. And also, too, like, you said one thing and then you completely do a complete 180 on the other. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, like, that's why you're losing memberships and subscribers. I don't know how many it off now. But, yeah.
He's not the TRT that we need in this moment. There's nothing. The young Turk has become the old turncoat, and he has to accept that and step away if he truly cares about the other shows on that network, so as to not sink that ship. Because right now he's wait, and I don't think people are being honest about the danger of normalizing talking about having drinks and beer with people like the folk on the right.
Charlie Kirk, Tim
oh
Pool.
My God, yeah. I mean, the idea that Anna had all the smoke for Karen Bass and didn't once in her rants on Twitter mention anything about climate change. She didn't, not once did she mention anything about the 800, that LA is not a city, it's a county. It is a city, but it's also a county, and these fires are not just in the city. The lack of nuance that exists in them, because of, some people are calling it a grift. I don't know what it is. It's, if they're trying to keep up with the algorithm, it's scary to me that we are playing this game with people.
It's a grift. It's a grift.
Lives, and that is not hyperbole. When I saw Cenk, and I literally almost threw my computer, and for this reason, I didn't get to finish your interview with Cenk. Sorry about that. But when I saw him say to you, over you, that you're playing the minority game, and I'm looking like, you're talking to someone who's telling you their existence, and you're telling her it doesn't matter, or you're not.
Yeah, he did. Like if Cenk told me that shit, man, I probably see Franny is nice. She's a sweet woman. Like, but me, I'm not that nice of a guy. Yeah, I probably some things would probably been said. Like, bro, like, dude, like, have you lived the black experience? Like, how you know I'm playing a race card? Like, you don't say that. That like me said it to Cenk. Cenk said he's Muslim, right? He's Turkish, Muslim, whatever. Like, oh, Cenk, you playing the race card with your Turkish roots, your Turkish culture, whatever. Like I don't have the right to say that because I'm not Turkish. Like, come on, bro. Yeah, that shit, yeah, that shit drove me crazy. It did too. Like he just mad because she called him out on his cap. It's full of cap.
You shouldn't feel threatened, even though we watch Donald Trump say the China virus in an intentional way to evoke a certain thing from certain people, and then we deliberately try to play out the fact that we immediately in Atlanta saw people starting to get killed, Asian people starting to get threatened at work immediately. This is not just a correlation, it's causation. And Cenk is playing that down, and that to me is disgusting. I am not here to say that there's no problems with the Democratic Party because we know them all too well. I mean, you and I just had a 30-40 minute articulating the problems with this administration and all of them before that. But we also know that they're not equal to the racist people who are trying to kill me, who has doxed me, who are trying to kill other people, and who are telling people that we need to destroy families and send people back places.
Yeah, I call that out. And Democratic Party, like Joe Biden, but Joe Biden wrote a crime bill to incarcerate more black people. Yeah, and Bill Clinton signed that bill into law. Yeah, yeah. Then Joe Biden hung out with a white supremacist named Sean Thurman. Let's not forget that. And then was the Democratic Party originally the party of slavery? Like yeah, like so. Let's not forget all that. Like I have to call it out because yeah, yeah, like yeah, Republicans, yeah, some conservatives are racist, but Democrats are too. So can't forget that.
Are unhealthy and unsafe for them.
Yep. Amen. I mean, that's exactly right. Yeah, that was a really rough moment. And I think that it's ultimately sadly because TYT has welcomed people like myself and you into the fold. But I also just want to just say for the record, like I had a media career before I started with TYT. I had an MSNBC special all on my own. I was working at National Geographic. You have had a robust career separate from TYT. None of this is about our own personal brands or our own, plays. And Cenk did not make you or I. So that's really important to name. But I do think it's sad that even though they allow people like us into the fold and the fray, they refuse to learn from us or listen to us. And I think that when you have been doing this work for so long, and you still cannot grasp the idea of intersectionality, how race and gender and class all intertwine with one another, and how the fascist goal is to divide us based on these lines.
Like that right there is so based. Like she couldn't say it as clearly as I could, man. Like race, class does intertwine. Like people don't understand because there are poor blacks and poor whites, and the elite don't want us coming together because they scared that of a revolution, right? So that's why they, like, for example, the blacks and the immigrants. Like the immigrants coming over, taking over your shit, taking over your jobs, which a lot of these jobs that regular American people don't work. Like these farming jobs, like the stuff they do in those fields out there, man. Like, but people don't understand that because you've been propagandized to think that those people over there are the problem, and other people say the same thing. So yeah, could say it better than me.
Like I don't even know I don't know like who you are. Like I'm not even I don't even know if you're smart. You know what I mean? I don't even know. First of all, I don't know who your political mentors are. I don't know who you look up to. I don't know what your touchstones are. I don't know if you know your history in terms of like civil rights, women's rights, gay rights struggle in this country. I don't know anything. I call into question all of that. It sounds like you are just an opportunistic mouthpiece who wants clicks time and time again. And like, look, I think Mondale, probably I could speak for you, open and willing to have these debates on the show. Sadly, there is no shade of gray at this point between its two main hosts. And yes, as I told Cenk, I do feel very implicated. I have felt implicated by their takes, specifically around crime and policing in years past, definitely by this new heel turn since Trump's reelection, and absolutely by the
And one thing that really like gets me about the crime and policing thing, I think what rubs me the wrong way is that Jake and Anna aren't black, so they don't understand. As a black person in this country, what we see, our own people getting murdered by cops, and then the crime thing, a lot of people are wrongly accused of doing things, getting massive years of sentencing. Their life basically over at that point, because good luck getting out of jail and finding a decent way of living. Like, yeah, like the system just, I think they do that intentionally so you can get back into the system and serve longer time. Like that's this shit's by design. Like I think now all this shit makes sense. Like for them to say that, like we want all the criminals out and defund the police is not a popular topic. Well, like Nick Cruz from RBN said, like if you in white suburban America, the police, you look at the police different from where a poor black man in the South of all places looks at the police. Like it's totally two different things. Like you like we like they in their own bubble. We trying to survive. Like so, yeah, they're totally wow.
representation of the Los Angeles fires and who the responsibility lies on. It is enraging, to say the least.
It's dastardly. And I also think, like, how do we have credibility as people that are part of the, I consider myself part of the TYT network, right? I'm still a subscriber because I care about the people on that show. I definitely won't, I think I'm all down for starting a petition to force Cenk and Anna to walk away. Give JR the rim. Give you the rim. I don't care. I think we should.
I think this part right here is kind of amusing to me because I really believe Mondale likes the idea of a network. Like I do too, but but that'd be kind of hard. Like you said, a petition. Like check it out. Even if this went through, it won't happen. I guess this is an idea he had. Like Jack Anna are not gonna leave easily. Like they'll lose their damn mind, man. Like how dare y'all want us out of? I hear Cenk now. How dare y'all? I'm the voice of the progressive, and you want me gone because Mondale see something bigger. Like maybe Mondale see something I don't see. Like to be honest, I haven't watched TYT in a long time. It's been 5 years now. Like I stopped watching TYT when they, as I said, like they said we should push Biden left. Like yeah. Good luck with that again. Like Biden is, hell, I think Biden is to the right of Donald Trump sometime. Like, but I don't see this happening. But hey, I wouldn't mind giving to JR and the other guy. I forgot his name. I like JR. Again, like I don't agree on everything JR says, but I don't think JR is like Cenk and Anna. I think Cenk and Anna are complete grifters. But let me continue.
We should get serious about pushing them away because I don't like seeding footprints. And I think TYT's footprint in the progressive space is too big just to walk away from the institution. I do think the person driving his ship is about to run us into an iceberg at fast pace. So I think, like, how can we criticize Elon Musk for his misuse of his Twitter platform or his media platform if we don't do the same to them too? How are we taken serious when we criticize Bezos and his media platform and them unwilling to do something they've always done when the editorial board was not allowed to publish their endorsement?
That's
when
right.
we won't criticize home. So I think that this for me was a no-brainer. Plus, I remember I grew up with my mom telling me stories about being sprayed with the water hole in the town where I am mayor right now, because she was in this wrong spot at the wrong time and she was black. My mom telling me when I don't fight for everybody's issues, then I'm actually picking who I will leave behind.
Yep.
That's what I feel like Jake and Anna. Jake and Anna have decided clicks matter more than fighting for what we need. And at this moment, we need a real.
Yep, that's what it's about. See, Cenk is like Kyle Kalinske said that Cenk is a businessman. So when you're a businessman, you think about the financial side of things. See, there's a difference between Cenk and me, for example. Like, I'm not like I like monetization will come eventually. We the ATP network is not monetized. We don't make any money off this, which is fine. Like, I like doing this because I think once you get a certain level, I think you get into a trench into the business side of things, then you start becoming clickbaity. Like, I don't want to be like that, but I know it's coming because you got to grow, but you got to maintain a level of humbleness too. Yeah, like Cenk got 70 people working with there, which is like, and then Polymarket. Then they sponsor by Polymarket, which is a big betting company. So yeah, it's about the clicks at this point. It's been about the clicks a long time ago. It's just now it's at a new level. So
Real vanguard to stand in the gap against what is about to come. And it's cozying up to the Trump of the world is more disgusting than what Mika and Joe Brzezinski did, or I should say Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough did, because we expected that from them. Sure. I wasn't even surprised when it happened. Don't forget, when Trump first came on the scene, he was always on the Morning Joe. But when I see it coming from our side, it's disgusting.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that I just want to say that Mondale and I are not a minority here. I think there are a lot of people who we know and love deeply, who've been contributors to TYT, who still are there, who feel, the same way. But then again, and I agree with you. So you're calling for a changing of the guards, a stepping away. I'm here to say that's never going to happen. But
nope.
You even told me before we did this show that you actually still support TYT monetarily, like you give them, subscriber money, because that's how much you actually believe in the importance of that platform, despite saying that you don't want to support it with your own voice right now because of the turn that they've been making.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the show, the network thrived before I got there. Rebel HQ got to 1 million subscribers when I was there. I think, like I said, I think they will go on. I think though, we need to be critical. We need to figure out a way to get rid of Cenk and Anna. That cancer can spread and metastasize, and I think we can't have that because it affects other people who truly are progressives over there in that space. And I know there are people, without implicating anybody, I know there are people over there that are unhappy with what's happening, but because of healthcare and other reasons, they can't say anything. Another reason we need to untie people's healthcare from jobs. People are forced to stay in spaces that are unhealthy for their belief systems simply because they need to be covered. And that is tragic.
Well, Mondale, thank you for going there with me and all these places with me. It's such an honor. How can people...
All right, guys, that's the end of that. Great conversation. I recommend checking out the Bituation Room. That's Francesca's YouTube channel. She I like listening to her. It's sometimes it's good to listen to people that you disagree with sometimes. Like in terms of racing class, we agree on that, but other stuff we don't. It's cool. Like, I'd love to get her on the ATP network, but we got a long way to grow, the big, I don't think we're ready for the big fish yet. That's why we voice for the voiceless, I think I want to get as many very small people that you probably didn't even know existed on here as possible. I need to get to work on that. Tea Time supposed to be we interview guests every week, but it's been kind of hard getting guests. I think because of what happened around Christmas, and then people just I don't know. I don't want to say jealousy. Like it's crazy to be jealous of a really small network or just me and Tyre Peasant. Like we regular people. Like there's nothing to be jealous about. Like look, man, I got an old 2010 festival shirt on. I got paneling in the room I'm in. It's dirty. It's stuff all around it. Paneling in the back, and I got this old picture of Martin Luther King. I have a dream where he was doing an I have a dream speech, and then so like I'm not a celebrity, man. I don't want to be a celebrity. I'd rather be behind the scenes working. Once the other members of the ATP network start doing shows, you probably see less of me. Like I don't really want to be on camera all the fucking time. Like the only reason why I'm doing this all the time now because I'm trying to make sure everybody's set, get their stuff together. Like Provolone, she gonna have her and another friend gonna have a show together. So that be and hopefully Damien bring his show back, and stuff like that. So I want to be on here as less as possible. Oh man, so yeah, man. Man, that's the show. I really hope this ceasefire deal goes through, but you can't trust Benjamin Netanyahu, man. You can't trust him. You know, that guy for 15 months has, just fucking it's undescribable at this point. I mean, like 46,000 people, women, babies, children, like going off this earth for no apparent reason, innocent over over ethnic cleansing. Um, so yeah. Before I go, got some shameless plugs again, because people come in at different times, so I gotta keep reiterating this stuff. We still very small, so yeah. Like the video on your way out. Before y'all leave, like the video because people watch the replays or whatnot. Follow Ty Peasant on Twitter. Her handle is Lizzie Cosmos. This is her alternate account, and on the bottom of the ticker, follow the official ATP Network Twitter account at ATP Network 247, and also follow me and Ty Peasant on Little Red Book, aka Red Notes. Liz's is Ty Peasant 85 and mine is Andre X24. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for listening to me ramble and rave for almost an hour and a half. Today's been a weird day. Yeah, man. I really want Palestine to be free, man. Free. So, all right, guys, I'm Andre Morton from The Good Faith Show, signing out. Have a good one.